Mother Teresa of Calcutta, now popularly known as Saint Teresa of Calcutta, is a household name not only in Calcutta, where she is so dear to all of us, but all over the world. Mother had only one ideal in her life: to make Jesus known through her humble, compassionate, loving service to the poorest of the poor. A great evangelizer, we might call her, without too many words, but showing by her life and by what she believed, by putting it into practice. There was Mother expressing her love for Jesus in her humble service of compassion and love to the poorest of the poor.
A question which intrigues the Hindus of Kolkata is, why did Agnes Gonja Bajajio of Skopje town in faraway Albania come to Kolkata?
Why did Mother come to Calcutta, and what was the reason, and who sent her here? The woman deity, rather the woman is worshipped in Bengal, and we have so many women deities and so many Ma's in Bengal. Mother is the Koruna Moima, because in Calcutta in Bengal we did not have a Koruna Moima as to worship her, the mother of compassion. We don't have a mother of compassion in Bengal. It is Jesus who sent her here to us to make the people of Calcutta love and become more human, and to bless them and to do service for Jesus and God, of becoming the saint of the world.
Mother Teresa has been canonized by the Church, and what makes her a saint and what makes her a model evangelist?
The ultimate test of Christianity is our way of living. More than words, deeds, and more than deeds, life. People today put more trust in witnesses than in teachers, experience than in teaching, in life and action than in theories, says Redemptoris Missio. This is certainly true in Asian context, where people are more persuaded by holiness of life than intellectual argument. So says Ecclesia in Asia.
I used to go to her very frequently, and with God's blessing, I got that privilege to be very close to her and go to at any moments of my time and meet her at Mother House. So every morning I used to drop my son at a school opposite Mother House, and I used to come to meet Mother. And sometimes it happened that I missed coming to Mother House, and the next day when I went, she used to tell me, I missed you. You did not come yesterday. So, that going up and down to Mother House and that feeling of somebody waiting for me, somebody missing me, was so important in my life. And that had drawn me very much. That had opened a very big vision of life, which maybe God had sent a messenger in my life to open up this vision of somebody waiting for you, somebody wanting you, somebody wants to love you, somebody where you feel so much comforted, somebody where you feel your heart-to-heart connection.
And Mother always used to say, I do it for Jesus. She was not a social worker. Her deep conviction was to see Jesus in all, very especially in the poorest of the poor. And she put into practice the saying of Jesus, whatever you do to the least of my brothers or sisters, you do it to me.
We mean that Jesus said, whatever you do to them least, You did it to me. I was sick and in prison and you visited me. I was sick. He says, no. I was hungry. I was naked. What we are doing, that's a beautiful part of our society, of our vocation. We have given the Blessed Sacrament and we have given the poor 24 hours.
Love and love until it hurts you. This was a constant message of Mother Teresa. She said, whatever you do it with love.
I was the most privileged person to meet Mother at a very young age, where I was an aspiring doctor and wanted to do more as a doctor, and also my family. At that juncture, Mother appeared in my life and she opened another great world where I see life more beautifully. Mother always felt God-given priority, which is so very important. Once when Mother was sick in the hospital, I told Mother, said, Mother, I want to do so many things as you are doing, and my heart wants to do more, but I am all the time handicapped. I cannot do. So Mother looked up at me. She caught hold of my hand and she said, it is the priority of love, life and God-given priority. God has made me a nun. As a missionary, this is my priority. And you are a mother of 2 kids and wife, your husband is there. So your priority is different. But whatever you do it with love, devotion and honesty. Because that is what counts more than doing much. So from that day onwards, I felt that Mother has shown me the real meaning of life. We do not need to do very big things, but the only thing which is very important, fidelity to small things which Mother had mentioned, with love, that was very important, and the joy we get into it.
She brought the poorest of the poor from the periphery to the center and made them visible. She firmly believed that the excluded, unwanted, and the abandoned were precious and sacred human beings endowed with immense worth and dignity. They are our sisters and brothers, part of our human family. Through her loving presence, warmth, gentleness, and simplicity, she made the destitute and the abandoned feel that they can be loved, accepted, and cherished as sisters or brothers. The shepherd should have the smell of the sheep, said Pope Francis. Mother Teresa evangelized the poor by living the life of the poor.
One day evening I went to see Mother in Mother house. I saw one gentleman is shouting. He was telling about the food offered to them from the Mother house in the evening. That this type of food I cannot take. No one can take. So let Mother come, I'll show it to her. Mother came within few minutes, and Mother came to know what is his desire. Then Mother's food was lying just next to that room, the dining table. Mother asked him, will you take my food? He said, okay, I'll take your food. Mother asked the sister to bring that plate and offered to him. Sister brought the food and tried to give it to him. The same food. This was the Mother's incidents I can see. I understand how she became Mother of the world.
Pope Francis canonized Teresa in 2016 as Saint Teresa of Kolkata For the people of Kolkata, she was already a saint who performed miracles during her lifetime itself.
One day my mother took me to mother house and mother's place where she was living then, and she introduced me to mother, and she told her about me, that she's very sick, and mother, I am very upset about this and there's nothing we can do. Please, if you could pray for her. So mother looked at me, she took me into her arms and she told my mother that, Saroj, do not worry about your daughter anymore. I am taking a vow for Ritu and she will become all right. So this is how my life and my association started with Mother Teresa. So when she said that now you don't have to worry about anything, I am looking after you and you will be all right, I am praying for you and Jesus will cure you. So that's how life started going on, and I was all the time in and out of mother house. So that's how my life continued with mother while I was very young. And every time mummy would stay with mother and she would work with her and then go back and in the evening and take me back home. So life carried on like that, and I grew up, and my ailment was becoming so much better. And then mother told my mother, Saroj, that when Ritu becomes all right, you should take her to Lourdes to thank Our Lady of Lourdes for curing her. So we kept on trying. So this kept on, the years went by, and I became a teacher, I became a professor of art. One day when mother asked me, Ritu, have you been to Lourdes? So I said, no mother, I couldn't go. I'm trying very hard. I can't go alone from here, so I need someone to take me. The second miracle that took place, so she says, okay, you go home and start preparing and you will be able to go this year. Why she said that, it doesn't, I don't know, but we never questioned her for anything. So we went, and when we left mother house and came home, and I suddenly get a call from Germany saying that, Ritu, you've always told us that you want to come to Lourdes. I will take you to Lourdes. Now this happened to be my mother's cousin, who out of the blue just called us and said, why don't you come? You come and I'll take you to Lourdes and I will get your vow fulfilled. But then I said, okay. So he says, why don't you come this week, the next week your uncle is coming to America, you come with them. So I went, I did manage to go, and they took me all over, to Lourdes, to the Vatican, to Rome and Lourdes and everywhere, and we had the most wonderful pilgrimage I had, where I went and I paid my respects to Our Lady of Lourdes, and I drank the holy water, I think gallons of it, and came back with a gallon of water from the holy river. So many miracles have happened with me, with mother. Every day of my life has been like a miracle with her. I've survived for so long. I've had so many ailments. The three major miracles she did was one when I was a little girl in the year 1976. I got very sick. She again cured me. Then I had meningitis. And then she got me back. Nobody survives of meningitis, but I did.
Mother Teresa's compassion and care was so universal and inclusive, irrespective of caste and creed differences. Everyone felt at home with this universal mother.
Mother in the universal way, that not restricting human mind into one religion, or what she believed in the fidelity of the mind to your own religion. But that doesn't mean that the humanity has to be disrespected, because the source is one. So we used to have a prayer service where I used to anchor with few sisters, where we used to talk about the universal concept of Mother's philosophy, where human heart and human mind and connection with God, which is more important than anything else. And Mother loved me so much. I being a Hindu, there was no barrier in it. She had pacemaker implanted by a Hindu doctor, and there was no barrier in it. So this is not the Christian world, it is the world of Mother. And whoever comes, it is Mother's children who comes over. And this is very important, which God wants us, where you feel yourself as one with God, true mother. So we used to talk about a mother's life, mother's philosophy, mother's vision, all in the simple way, not in a big way. We used to sit on the ground and we used to, so Muslim women, Muslim people, Hindu people, even the Buddhist, even different sets of life, they used to come, and every Saturday we used to have a very beautiful interaction where many downtrodden people used to come, and they did not have anywhere to open their heart. They were, battered. So they found solace there where they could express the inner feeling, and they felt themselves wanted and important. So somehow I felt that Mother wanted to evaluate every human person's dignity and every person to feel their own dignity.
When she was decorated with the Nobel Peace Prize in 1979, it was a natural outcome of her entire mission to be a messenger of peace through humble service. And that was evangelization for Mother, to make Jesus known by her life and by what she did. And what she did was especially the least of her brothers and sisters. Her life inspires all today. When one visits the Mother House to pay one's tribute to this great messenger of peace, one is always attracted by her personality. A humble servant of the Lord who did so much because she loved Jesus Christ and she loved human beings of all caste and creeds. She never asked during her service whether someone was a Christian or a Muslim or a Hindu. She served all. That is God's vision. That was the vision of Jesus. Reach out to all with the message of peace, with the message of love. But her deep conviction was, as she always said, I'm a Catholic, nun. I believe in Jesus Christ. His life, His death, His resurrection has been my inspiration. And what she lived in prayer, meditated upon and contemplated the life of Jesus, as she deepened her own faith in Him, as she saw Jesus in the Eucharist, she saw the same Jesus in the distressed poor, rest of the poor. Therefore, Mother Teresa, Saint Teresa of Calcutta, always remains a great example of evangelization today. Give yourself totally to all people. Reach out to everyone, but especially those who need you most, those who are neglected, the sick, the suffering, the destitute. That's where Jesus was, that's where Jesus went, and in His name today, make His message known. Saint Teresa of Calcutta, pray for us. Help us to spread the message of Jesus today in our times.